Chapter 4, Getting Kit. The first light of dawn filtered through the window, rousing Fredric from his slumber. As he stirred, he became aware of Arina's impatient presence nearby, her readiness to embark on their journey palpable even in the dim morning light. "Come on, lazy bones," Arina chided, her voice laced with a hint of annoyance. "We have much to do today, and we can't afford to waste any time." Blinking away the remnants of sleep, Fredric rubbed his eyes and sat up, his mind still foggy from the abrupt awakening. Right, he muttered, scrambling to gather his bearings. I'm up. Arina shot him a pointed look before turning to gather their belongings, her determination unwavering even in the early hours of the morning. As Fredric groggily rose from his bed, he couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt for keeping her waiting. "Sorry, Arina," he mumbled, his voice laden with remorse. "I'll be ready in just a moment." With a resigned sigh, Arina nodded, her annoyance momentarily softened by Fredric's apology. "Hurry up then," she urged, her impatience tempered by the knowledge that they had a long day ahead of them. As Fredric hastily dressed and gathered his belongings, he couldn't shake off the sense of urgency that hung in the air. With Arina's determination as their guide, they were poised to embark on a journey fraught with challenges and unknown dangers, their resolve unyielding in the face of whatever lay ahead. As they sealed their bill with the innkeeper and stepped out into the crisp morning air, Arina wasted no time in outlining the necessities for their journey ahead. With a sense of purpose, she began listing off the essential equipment they would need, her tone brisk and efficient. "We'll need to get you outfitted properly for your training," Arina stated matter-of-factly, her gaze fixed ahead as they made their way through the bustling streets of Windmont. "First, we'll need to find you a weapon of some sort, something you can handle comfortably. Then, a chainmail vest for protection, new boots for the journey ahead, and of course, provisions to sustain us on the road." Fredric nodded, mentally taking note of each item on the list. The gravity of their situation weighed heavily on him as he contemplated the challenges that lay ahead. "And don't forget, you'll need to choose a weapon," Arina continued, her voice tinged with a hint of urgency. "Put some serious thought into it, Fredric. Your life may depend on it." Fredric swallowed hard, the weight of Arina's words sinking in. He understood the importance of selecting the right weapon, one that he could wield effectively in the face of danger. With Arina's guidance, he knew he would need to make a decision soon, one that could mean the difference between life and death on their perilous journey. Their first destination was the local blacksmith, where the clang of metal on metal echoed through the workshop. Fredric's eyes widened as he took in the array of weapons displayed before him, each one gleaming in the dim light of the forge. With a sense of trepidation, he approached the weapons, his fingers grazing over the cold steel. Picking up a long broadsword, Fredric tested its weight, but immediately felt the strain on his arms. It was too heavy, too unwieldy for someone of his stature. Arina watched silently, her expression inscrutable as she observed Fredric struggle. "That one's not for you," Arina remarked bluntly, her voice cutting through the din of the forge. "Your frame won't allow you to wield a sword of that size effectively." Fredric's shoulders slumped, a sense of disappointment washing over him. He had hoped to find a weapon that would make him feel strong, capable. But now, faced with the reality of his limitations, he felt a wave of doubt creeping in. Sensing his dejection, Arina stepped forward, her tone softening slightly. "Don't be discouraged, Fredric. Strength comes with time and training. You will grow stronger on this journey. I promise you that. Someday, you might wield a proper sword with ease." Fredric nodded, taking solace in Arina's words. Despite his initial setback, he knew he couldn't afford to lose hope. With Arina's guidance and encouragement, he would find a weapon that suited him, one that would help him face whatever challenges lay ahead on their quest. Scanning the racks of weapons, Arina's keen eyes landed on a shorter blade, its edges glinting in the flickering light of the forge. Swift and agile, it seemed tailor-made for someone like Fredric. With a determined nod, She plucked it from its resting place and tossed it toward him. "Try this one," Arina suggested, her voice laced with encouragement. Fredric caught the blade with a sense of anticipation, feeling its weight in his hand. It was lighter than the broadsword, yet sturdy enough to inspire confidence. With a few experimental swings, he felt the blade slice effortlessly through the air, its movements fluid and precise. A smile tugged at the corners of Fredric's lips as he tested the blade's balance and agility. It felt right, almost as if it were an extension of his own arm. Turning to Arina, he nodded in approval. "This one," Fredric declared, his voice filled with newfound determination. "This is the one I'll take." With a mischievous smirk, Arina turned to the blacksmith. "We'll take the wee blade in a small chainmail vest," she said, her tone confident. Fredric reached into the pouch of gold Mary had given him and counted out the required coins, paying the blacksmith with a sense of pride. Exiting the blacksmith shop, Fredric felt a newfound sense of purpose as he donned his new armor and strapped the blade to his side. The weight of the chainmail vest was reassuring, a tangible reminder of the journey ahead. As they ventured into the bustling streets of Windmont, Fredric's eyes widened in awe at the sights and sounds surrounding him. The town was a maze of winding streets and towering buildings, a stark contrast to the familiar sights of his hometown. Arina chuckled at his amazement, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "If a town like this gets you this excited, just wait until we reach the capital of Maylion," she teased, her tone playful. "You might just faint from the sheer size of it." As they entered the cobbler's shop, Arina glanced down at Fredric's worn-out boots with a frown. "Those won't last us to the next town," she remarked, her tone matter-of-fact. Fredric followed Arina's lead as they approached the cobbler, who greeted them with a warm smile. After a few measurements and assurances from the skilled craftsman, they left the shop with the promise of new boots to be ready in a few hours. Next, they stopped by the baker's to pick up some hard-tack bread, a staple for long journeys due to its long shelf life. With provisions in hand, they settled down for lunch at a nearby tavern, the aroma of freshly baked bread filling the air. As they ate, Arina outlined the training regimen she had planned for Fredric. "We'll train in the early morning and late evening," she explained between bites, her tone firm. "But we'll continue walking throughout the day to keep up our pace." Arina continued, her voice steady with determination. "Most nights, we'll be camping by the road. Towns are few and far between in these parts." Fredric nodded, absorbing her words with a sense of readiness. He understood the importance of being prepared for the journey ahead. "Pass me the map," Arina requested, gesturing towards Fredric's bag. He reached inside and pulled out the worn parchment, handing it over to her. Arina spread the map out on the table, tracing their route with a finger. "Our next stop is a 4-day hike northeast," she explained, her eyes focused on the markings. "We're headed to the port town of Salthorn. From there, we'll hitch a ride on a boat to the northern island of Eodbin." Arina carefully folded the map and stowed it away in her bag, her movements deliberate and efficient. As they settled back, the tavern maid arrived with their order of roasted boar, filling the air with a savory aroma. Fredric's stomach grumbled in anticipation, and he eagerly reached for a portion. "This looks delicious," Fredric remarked, taking a bite and savoring the tender meat. Arina nodded in agreement. "Enjoy it while you can," she advised between bites. "We'll have some hungry nights ahead if we want our rations to last the whole trip." Curious, Fredric observed as Arina bowed her head in a small prayer before eating. He hadn't noticed her pray at the copper coin, so he asked about the ritual. Arina paused, her expression briefly clouded with emotion. "My father, the mage, would always pray before a meal," she explained softly, her voice tinged with sadness. "He thanked the earth for providing us with food. Now that he's gone, I feel it's important to continue his ritual in his memory." A single tear glistened on Arina's cheek before she brushed it away with determination, resuming her meal. Fredric watched her in silence, a newfound understanding and respect blossoming within him for his companion's solemn tradition. With their bellies full and their spirits refreshed, Fredric and Arina made their way to the old cobbler's shop, where Fredric acquired his new boots. The shop was nestled in a quaint corner of the town, its weathered sign swinging gently in the breeze. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of leather and polish. Fredric marveled at the craftsmanship as the cobbler handed him his new boots, the leather shining from being freshly polished. Eager to try them on, Fredric slipped off his old, worn-out boots and laced up the new ones. They hugged his feet snugly, providing a newfound sense of support and comfort. Giving them a few testing strides up and down, Fredric felt a surge of satisfaction. They fit perfectly, as if they were made just for him. He thanked the old man for his quick and professional work as he paid him, a genuine smile gracing his lips. Stepping out onto the street, Fredric admired his new boots, feeling a sense of pride in his appearance. Arina, walking beside him, couldn't help but tease him with a playful remark. "You're looking less pathetic by the second," she joked, punctuating her words with a light punch to his arm. Fredric chuckled, feeling a warmth spread through him at her light-hearted banter. As they walked, the sun cast long shadows across the cobblestone streets, and the bustling sounds of the town gradually faded into the distance behind them. With each step, Fredric felt a growing sense of anticipation for the journey ahead. The weight of their quest hung heavy in the air, but he also felt a newfound determination stirring within him. He was no longer just a tavern boy. He was embarking on an adventure that would shape his destiny. Arina glanced sideways at Fredric, her eyes softened with a hint of camaraderie. Despite their differences, she sensed a growing bond between them, forged by their shared purpose and the trials they would face together. With their gear fully stocked and their spirits high, the two set off on the road again, their journey northward continuing with renewed determination. The road stretched out before them, winding through fields and forests, leading them ever closer to their destination. And though the path ahead was uncertain, Fredric couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement for the adventures that lay ahead.